Alright, here are 10 things that made backpacking easier for me. First, bring a penknife. They come in useful all the time for cutting food, opening packaging, cutting things, especially a block of cheese or a long sausage you can cut up into pieces to make a sandwich when you're out and about. It's one of those things you don't think about until you actually need it. Then you realise how often you use it. Next, proper clothes, particularly hiking trousers, because they're nice and thin, they keep you cool. If they get wet, they dry very quickly, as opposed to jeans. Okay, they're heavy, they get uncomfortable, they're hot, and they take ages to dry if they get wet. If you can as well, you get the ones that zip off into shorts. So in a hot place, you can unzip below the knee, take the bottoms off, you've got a pair of shorts. That keeps your legs and crotch nice and cool. And then if it gets cool later, you can zip them back on again. Honestly, I wouldn't travel without these. Makes a massive difference in hot places. Next tip, use Rome to Rio. It shows you all the different ways to get from one place to another and the costs of doing so and the approximate time. So it compares methods of travel at a glance. It's really useful. Next tip, Skyscanner for flights. We all know Skyscanner, we all probably use it, but there's a couple of things you might not realise. First, clear your cookies before booking. Prices can creep up if you keep searching the same route. That will help get you the best price. Second, sometimes it's cheaper to actually split a journey into 2 flights as opposed to one direct flight. I've done that before from London to Colombia. I stopped in New York for a week and then flew out of New York to Colombia. That's good because it's a cheaper flight and you get to see an extra place on the way. Next tip, don't rely too much on guidebooks. In fact, I don't use guidebooks at all anymore. It's not the 80s or the 90s anymore. We've got Google, you can find anything instantly. And guidebooks tend to send everyone to the same places, whether you're interested in those things or not. Nowadays, you've got Google, TripAdvisor, and of course, other travelers in the hotel or hostel. They will tell you what's worth doing and what's not. If you do use guidebooks, take them with a pinch of salt. Next awesome tip is to befriend a local, even if it's just for the day. It makes a huge difference because they have local knowledge. They'll help you find and show you places you wouldn't find on your own, better food, better areas, things that aren't really obvious. And a great website for that is Couchsurfing. You can message someone and ask them to show you around, and often they will. But you can also use other websites, Facebook, and sometimes that turns into a full day of exploring that you wouldn't have had otherwise. The next tip is eat the street food. Some sources will tell you not to eat street food because it's unhygienic and dangerous. No, it isn't. I've lived on street food in some of the places that I've been in. In China, Thailand, South America, I ate street food all the time. It's cheap, it's quick, and it's usually really good. And because you're eating around other people as well, there's a nice sense of communality about it. Ironically, the only time I actually got sick from food was convenience store pizza, not street food. I've eaten barbecued chicken, barbecued vegetables on the street in China. I've eaten barbecued squid on the street in South Korea. I've eaten dumplings on the street in China, in Thailand, barbecued fish, anything you can cook at the roadside. In South America, I remember people make pasties at home and then they come and sell them on the street. I used to eat those every morning when I was a teacher in Ecuador. I loved them and so cheap as well, only 50 cents. So yeah, get in on the street food, guys. Next travel tip, offline maps. We all know Google and we all use Google Maps, all right? But download it offline as well, because if you're backpacking in a rural area, the signal goes down, you're going to need Google Maps, but it might not be available, so get the offline version. That's saved me a good few times, actually. And paper maps won't cut it, they're not detailed enough. Similar to that, screenshot important info, tickets, booking addresses, anything you might need, because if you're offline, you won't be able to get access to it. Screenshots make everything instantly available. And finally, last tip, ask locals, not Google. Google will give you general answers, but locals will give you real ones. And sometimes just asking for directions or advice can turn into a conversation, and that might even end up with them showing you around or buying you lunch. I've had that happen. People are very good and willing to help in everywhere I've been. So none of these things are big on their own, but together they make traveling a lot easier. And they're the kind of things you only really learn by doing it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.